Okay, one more project. Solid carbide center drill here. Mike Neff. It's in a little mixed bag of goodies that Mike Neff gave me. I went ahead and mounted it in a MT3 holder that we made for a different tool and a different time, but it has been adapted to this. There's 100,000. Can't beat that finish. So, boring bar, one of the few things I've salvaged from my father's ever dwindled supply of tools. So internal or external threads here. I want to do 2 start threads to eliminate a lot of winding to secure the lid. I think I have enough wall thickness to do, well, it doesn't really matter, either one would work. Let me take a little time to think about that. Maybe consult with the consignee. Okay, it's time for confession. We'll call it Confession of the Self-Proclaimed Threadmaster. Not. I bored out my hex and I put some internal threads in it, 14 threads per inch, 2 start. And then I needed to, I wanted to do a test piece because I know what the diameter of my opening is that I need to make the plug for the male threads, and I know where the tables are at in the machinist handbook, but either I'm on the wrong page or I don't know how to read it, or I'm on the right page and I do know how to read but I do not understand it. For whatever reason, I just kind of guesstimate my starting diameter for the male threads, the plug that's going to go in this hex piece. So the opening of my female threads hole is 250 thousandths. One inch, 250 thousandths. So I simply added, let me take care of this real quick. Hey, leave it. Leave it. Come here. Come here, leave it. Leave them alone. Hey, come on. Get in here. Get in here. Nobody likes a yapping dog. But that's what dogs do. So by holding my calipers to the hole and kind of guesstimating how deep the threads were and how much, and this time I added 150 thousandths. So I turned my male piece to 1 inch 400 thousandths. Is that right? I think that's right. I achieved a great 14 threads per inch at about 75 thousandths. But I found if you just keep on cutting threads, you'll hit the diameter sooner or later. A lot of wasted time and whatnot. So so here's my test piece. Oh, what I ended up doing, is taking this 1 inch 8 threads per inch collar and I threaded it. I threaded it on the end, and obviously it's a little tight. So let me work on that. Okay, we're back. Let me get some more lights on in here. So I cut my threads for my cylinder, and despite starting off way too big, I was able to achieve a good fit. The thing is, I should have been able to take much less material off of this. 250 was my whole. I probably could have got away with half of what I left on. I probably could have got away with well, 350 325. So when I make the real cap, I will reduce that 150 thousandths larger than my internal bore, and reduce that to maybe 75 thousandths larger, and then turn my threads. But you know, that's a good fit. The only problem is it's not the cap. All right. I don't remember if I showed machining those internal threads or not. If not, you've seen me do 2-start threads more than once. Okay, we'll figure out what I'm going to do and I'll come on back with you. Okay, I'm back. I think we left it at I had advanced the compound 20 thousandths and I was getting ready to do my second pass. And here we go, starting on 1, starting on 1 and starting on A. If I didn't already mention, I'm starting way back so I have time to get up here and concentrate on the movement of the tool. Because it's a pretty tight endeavor. We're going to go to A. Here comes A. Going to do another 20. Start on 1. Just missed A. Didn't like the way that engaged. We'll wait for another A. There we go. Another 20. I have a feeling I started too small. I think I only did about, well, we'll find out in a minute here. Oh. I had my hand on the compound dial instead of the half nut. Now I'm going to do 10 thousandths. False start. I'm going to do another 10. Missed my numbers. 10 might be too much. I'm going to back that off and only take 5. did that right. Holy shit. Didn't do that right. Spring pass. Got a real good looking thread here. Another spring pass. I got a great looking thread, but I have a feeling that the diameter is way too small. Because I started way too small. No, by golly. It's a little wiggly. But it starts right on there. Let me soften that up a little bit. I got some 150. Yeah, I tried to adjust something there, and I grossly changed. I tried to back my compound off. So that's 3/4 of the way in, and I got a lot of movement. But it locks down. It's really not acceptable, is it? And you know what? The hex lines up perfectly. So wow, what a piece of luck that was. You can see. The hex is almost right on. It's close enough for the eye. See the gap down here by my thumb, and follow that up to the top. I can't unscrew it now. I gotta get a wrench on it. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, we are (4.5 inches deep. plus a little. I'd like to make another one that's a better fit than that. That's way too sloppy. Okay, this is the bottom end of my piece. I got 3/4 of an inch before I break through. So if I take 4/16, 2/16, 1/8 for the bottom and 1/8 for the parting blade, it gives me it gives me 4/8 for the threads and the cap. So there's the top. Now I got a 1/2 inch for threads. I don't need a 1/2 inch for threads. I can do 3/8 for threads. So do I take a chance at making my cap from that bottom piece having a better fit this time, or do I accept it the way it is right now and just do the rest of my operations as it is? Is there any advantage of having that loose thread? I don't know. I'll leave it to speculate a while. Okay. I decided to scrap that last cap that I made with the extremely loose threads. I'm thinking about utilizing this piece and turning a copper plug, 1/2 inch, 8 threads per inch, and fitting it in here and then facing it off. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking about that's an option, and I'm also wanting to do some inlay. Either do some inlay now, it would be on the bottom, or to do some inlay, turn it around and do some inlay around the diameter. I've had pretty good luck doing inlaid turquoise, crushing up turquoise and mixing it with epoxy. I'm not sure if I still have. No, I gifted that piece to somebody. Now, I've been turning a lot of brass. And I don't want to say no brass has been harmed in this room, but I cleaned my machine and all the area around it. I lined my chip pan with cardboard, and I saved my brass. Now this is today, believe it or not. But since I've been doing this for 2.5 years, or maybe going on 3 years with the mini lathe, just a year for the big lathe, I think. But I have managed to collect some brass cuttings. If I remember right, I think these are about 12 pounds a piece. So there's 6. 6, so there's 60, so there's 70, 72 pounds. I am saving the brass, and I'm thinking this winter I may invest in a melt oven, a forge, not a forge, a melt oven. And I'll try my hand at some brass casting, be it lost wax, lost PLA, sand casting. Really don't know, but I know enough to consider it. And it's all about learning and having a good time. So I really just want to demonstrate that, you know, I'm not throwing this stuff away. You know, it's far too valuable. And as far as, you know, all this, some people would say that's a giant waste. Well, you know what? I had a freaking blast doing this. You know, there's memories there. I love this. You know? All this shit, you know. I had a ball. I'm having a ball on this. I make my mistakes. I come up with solutions for corrections. So, I am trying to, you know, economize, but, you know, some people spend tens of thousands of dollars on a watercraft for their fun, you know. And if I turn a couple $100 worth of brass and don't accomplish any real tangible working parts, I had a ball doing it. And every time I turn that machine on, I learn something. I'm so hesitant to take that thing apart. But hence I started this project instead of taking the thing apart. I did open up the shop a little bit. I cut a big hole in my cardboard and got a view of the outside. I really blocked that off. Number one, somebody said it's not a good idea to have sunlight in here. And number two, I'm often out here at all hours of the morning and evening, morning, and I think the less attention I draw to myself, the better. Because I got compressors kicking on, I got the lathe turning, I got the converter running over here on the floor. I'm making some noise. I'm just lucky that my closest neighbor here, he's in the reserve, and his wife is from Northern Europe somewhere, and she's up at nights, you know, hanging out with her family over the computer, over the internet. And so I'm not disturbing her. Okay, that's going to be it, guys. Like and subscribe. I want to thank my newest subscriber. And if you just bear with me and let me, I want to mention his name. I appreciate it so much. people have uploaded since I looked at this last. Did anybody see what Brian Block brought home? He's a madman. Well, it's not coming to me right. Here it is, Mike Armstrong. So thank you, Mike. I appreciate you coming along, brother. Bring a buddy and tell a friend. And there's also another one in here, I think. And Acorn to Annabella. Well, if I can figure out who that was, I'll give him a mention, or her a mention next time. Next time around. Just looking for names here that aren't familiar to me. Okay, well, that's going to be it. Did I say Mike Armstrong? I believe I did. There it is. Here's another one. New subscriber, Bots Bass. I'm going to say Bots Bass because I'm a former bass player, but who isn't? I think everybody plays bass. So Bots Bass, thank you, brother. Hope you enjoy. I'll try my best to entertain, and if you're really new at this, I might teach something, but I wouldn't rely too much on what I say. Because most of the time I'm wrong. Alright guys, thanks a lot.